Okay, so this is grade 10S material algebra. The course revision questions required, the grids. Okay, so let's start. Question 6, one root is 2 over 5. What is the other root? Very easy, you can just factor. Okay, you can also solve using the quadratic formula as over here, but we're going to use factoring, okay, just so everybody knows how to factor. 5 times negative 24 is 120, and you want to see which two numbers multiply to get 120, but when you subtract them, you get 58. Obviously, 2 and 60. So you're going to have 5x and 2 and 5x and 60 equals 0. The middle sign always goes to the bigger number. And since the other sign is minus, that means that the other sign has to be minus. So here you get a minus. Divide by 5 on both sides, you're going to get x plus 12. Over here, you have 5x minus 2, and you have equals 0. What are your roots going to be? To find your root, you equate everything to 0. So 5x minus 2 equals 0. And you equate the other one to 0, so you get x plus 12 equals 0. So that means here you're going to get x is equal to 2 over 5. And here you're going to get x is equal to negative 12. So the other root will be negative 12. Question now 13. The roots of 2x squared minus 8x plus 5 are 4 plus root k, where k is a whole number. What is the value of k? So obviously now we need to use the quadratic formula. Anytime you see a radical with quadratics, that means you're using quadratic formula. What's the quadratic formula? Minus b plus minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Other people write it as minus b plus minus root delta over 2a, this triangle. But if you want to write it like this, you have to show on your paper that delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac. You have to show it somewhere, okay? I'm going to use this way, so I'm going to use minus b, so minus b is the coefficient of x, which is negative 8. So minus negative 8 plus minus root b squared, so negative 8 squared, minus 4 times a is the coefficient of x squared, so it's 2, times c, which is the number here, which is 5, over 2a, so 2 times 2. If you put this on your calculator over here, you're going to get 8 plus root b squared minus 4ac, so 64, because 8 squared is 64, 64 minus 4 times 2 times 5, over 2 times 2, which is 4. You're going to get 4 plus root 6 over 2. So that means, what's k equal to? K is equal to 6. Okay? Now we have question 37 to 43. Let's go down to 37. Over here, let x be greater than 3, find the simplest form. Always when you want to find the simplest form, when you're multiplying, this dot means multiply, huh? You always factor everything, okay? 3x minus 9 is 3x minus 3. X squared plus 3x minus 10. Which numbers multiply to get 10? But when you subtract them, you get 3. Obviously, 5 and 2. So you're going to have x and 5, x and 2. This is factoring. Everybody should know how to factor. The middle sign goes to the bigger term. And the other one, since it's a minus, that means the other term is a minus. Multiplied. X squared plus 2x minus 15. Which two numbers multiply to get 15, but when you subtract them, you get 2. Obviously, 5 and 3. So x and 5, x and 3. Since it's a plus in the middle, that means the 5 gets the plus because of the bigger number. And since the other sign is a minus, that means the other sign here is a minus. X squared minus 5x plus 6. Which two numbers multiply to get 6? But now they add up to get 5. Instead of when you minus them, you get 5. Why add up to get 5? Because the last sign is a plus. What two numbers are they? 3 and 2. Because 3 times 2 is 6 and 3 plus 2 is 5. Why can't it be 1 and 6? Because 1 times 6 is 6, but 1 plus 6 is not 5. It's 7. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6. And when you add them, you get 5. So x and 3, x and 2. The minus goes to the bigger number, to the 3. And since the other sign is plus, it doesn't mean you get plus. If you have plus as your last sign, it means both signs are the same. So how do you know if it's minus minus or plus plus? Depending on the middle sign. Since the middle sign is minus, that means they're both going to be minus. Okay. Now what can you cancel? You can cancel x minus 3 with x minus 3. You can cancel x plus 5 with x plus 5. You're going to be left with 3 x minus 3 over x minus 2 squared. Anytime you have a number outside, you can't keep it outside, so you're going to make it 3x minus 9 over x minus 2 squared, which is your correct answer. Question 38. Given that x is greater than 0, y is greater than 0, write the given expression in simplest form. Anytime you want to simplify a radical, you're not allowed to simplify unless you have it factored. So let's factor out the common, okay? It's going to become, what do we have common? We have 4 in common, so we can take it out. We have x in common, so we can take it out. And we also have y squared in common, so we can take it out as well. Okay, so what's going to be inside? You're going to have y over here. And over here, you're going to have 4. X. Right? Okay, so now that you factored it out, you can actually use your radical, right? You can only use your radical on the one that's outside that you took out. Can you do radical of 4? Yes, it's 2, so you take it out. Can you do radical of x? No, you can't, so you keep it inside, okay? So we don't. Can you do radical of y squared? Yes, you can, so you take it out, and it's y. What's left? You have this x inside, and then y plus 4x. Take this x inside, you can get 2y root xy plus 4xy. And that's your correct answer. Question 39. 5x plus 3x plus 4 equals 20. The given equation has roots x equals alpha and beta. Find the value of alpha times beta. When you're finding the product of roots, you know that the product of two roots is equal to c over a. c over a. Does this look like a quadratic? No, that means I have to expand and fix it up and make it equal to 0. What's the first thing you can do? You see 5 common on both sides, so you divide by 5. Okay, so what you're going to be left with, x plus 3, x plus 4 is equal to 4, because 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now you have to expand this. Remember, a quadratic formula looks like, a quadratic equation looks like this. Right? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So this has to be equal to 0. So you can move the 4 here now, or you can move it later, but first you have to expand this. Let's expand it. When you expand it, you get x squared plus 7x plus 12. If you want a trick in expanding fast, when you're expanding binomials x plus something, always the first term is going to be x squared. The second term will be something x, and that something is equal to this number plus this number. This is just the trick. You can use it if you want. If you don't, I don't care. But it's just something like KCAS. I figured it out. And the last number is always equal to this number times this number. Anyway, x squared plus 7x plus 12 is equal to 4. Take 4 to the left now. You're going to get x squared plus 7x plus 8. Because 12 minus 4 is 8. Okay? Equals 0. Now, can I use c divided by a to find the product of both roots? Of course I can. C is the last number, so 8. A is the first number, which is 1. So your product is going to be 8. Question 40. 16x squared minus 8x minus 47 equals 0. The given equation has roots 1 over 4 plus root b, 1 over 4 minus root b, where b is greater than 0. Find the value of b. So obviously they want us to solve this using the quadratic equation. So it's very easy. We use the quadratic equation, minus b plus minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Let's start. Minus b. What is b? B is negative 8. So minus 8 plus minus root b squared minus 4ac. B we said is negative, so negative 8 squared. If you want to put this in a calculator, make sure that the negative is under the bracket and the square is outside the bracket, okay? Minus 4 times a is 16, right? And c is negative 47, okay? Over 2 times a, which is 16. Put this on your calculator, and you should get, I did before, over here. When you put it in your calculator, you get this answer, 1 plus 4 root 3 over 4. But here they said 1 over 4 plus root b. What's the difference? Since what they did here is they separated this fraction into two fractions. How do you separate it as two fractions? If you have a plus b over c in math, if you have a plus b over c, you can separate it as a over c plus b over c. Because when you add fractions, it becomes a plus b over c. So basically what they did here is they took this answer and they separated it as two fractions. They made it 1 over 4 plus 4 root 3 over 4. And they canceled the 4 with the 4. They were left with 1 over 4 plus root 3. And that means, does this look like this? This looks like this, right? So b is just 3. So basically, I'm talking a lot. Basically, if you see over here, if you see these two numbers able to cancel out with each other, that means what's under the radical over here is correct, is the answer. So that means b is 3. Over here, question 41, y is equal to 3x minus 1, and then x plus y squared equals to 9. They want a solution. Anytime you have a system of two equations, you need to substitute. Since they told us y is equal to 3x minus 1, I'm going to substitute y here with 3x minus 1. So it's going to be x plus 3x minus 1 squared is equal to 9. So you're going to get 4x minus 1 squared is equal to 9. And then when you expand this using the formula a minus b squared is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, you're going to get that 4x, you can get 4x squared is 16x squared, because a squared, huh? So first value squared. Why is 16x squared? Because it's 4x squared. So the square goes to the 4 and to the x. Okay, minus 2ab, so minus 2 times a, which is 4x, times b, which is negative 1. A1 equals, plus b squared, which is the last value squared. 1 squared is just 1. And remember, it equals 9, right? So equals 9. So let's simplify this a bit. 16x squared minus 8x plus 1 is equal to 9. We're solving it as a quadratic, so move everything to one side. So you can get 16x squared minus 8x. 1 minus 9 is minus 8 equals 0. Now let's solve this quadratic. You can actually factor out 8 because it's uncommon. So take 8 out. It's going to be 2x squared minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Cancel 8 on both sides because, 0 divided by any number is 0. So you're going to be left with 2x squared minus x minus 1 is equal to 0. Factor this now for a solution. 2 times 1 is 2. Which numbers multiply to get 2, but when you subtract them you get 1? Obviously, there's nothing other than 2 and 1. So you can get 2x and 2 and 2x and 1 equals 0. This middle sign goes to the bigger number. The other sign, since the other value is negative, that means the other value here will be plus. Why? Because to get a negative, if you have negative as your last sign, that means one of them should be plus, one of them should be negative. How do you know which one's which? Always the sign in the middle goes to the bigger number. In this case, it's 2. Now you can divide by 2 on both sides. You can get x minus 1, 2x plus 1 equals 0. What are your roots going to be? X is equal to 1. Why x is equal to 1? Because you set each thing equal to 0. So x minus 1 equals 0. That means x is equal to 1. And 2x plus 1 equals 0. That means x is equal to negative 1 over 2. So what are they saying? They're saying a is positive. So that means this one here, if it was in your written part, you're going to write a sign beside it and say rejected. Okay? So x is equal to 1 is your only correct answer. So that means a is 1. Question 42. Same thing. They gave you two system of equations, okay, and they're asking you to solve the solution, okay. 2x squared, so you're going to have to equate them to each other. So y is equal to this and y is equal to this. So you can substitute y here with 2 minus 4x. So 2 minus 4x is equal to 2x squared plus 8x plus 20. To solve it as a quadratic, everything has to be on one side. You can't solve it if they're not on the same side. You're not allowed. Okay, so let's move everything to this side. You can get 2x squared plus 8x plus 20 minus 2 plus 4x is equal to 0, right? Equals 0. Type, let's fix it. 2x squared, 8x plus 4x is 12. So 2x squared, 8x plus 4x is 12, so plus 12x. And then 20 minus 2 is 18, is equal to 0. Type, you can actually factor out 2 here, so you're going to get 2x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. Cancel 2 on both sides. You give me left with x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 0. You want to factor this, use quadratic formula, whatever you want. I like factoring. And this is actually a perfect square. It's very obvious. If you want to factor it, you're going to get x plus 3, x plus 3. Because what two numbers multiply to get 9, but add to get 6, 3 and 3. Okay, so you're going to get a repeated root. Set the equal to 0. What's the root going to be equal to? X plus 3 equals 0. So that means x is equal to negative 3. Okay. So the value of x is negative 3. And then our last question, question 43. The sum of the roots is 4 and their product is negative 6. What is the value of a? So sum of roots is 4. So sum is equal to negative b over a. And the product is c over a. So let's start. The sum is negative b over a. Negative b over a. What is b? B is the coefficient of x. So everything that's beside x is my b. So negative, what's all of this? Negative 10 to a minus b over a, which is 5, is equal to how much? 4. So you can actually negative 10 becomes positive because negative, and you can cancel this 10 with this 5. So you're going to be left with 2a minus b on the top is equal to 4. So since you have two unknowns, A and B, you can't solve this. So you need to now move to the product. Product is equal to C over A. What's C? C is the last value. It's not 3, it's 3B. It's everything at the end. So 3B is my C. Over A, A is what? 5. Is equal to, how much is the product? Negative 6. Cross multiply. So you're going to get 3B is equal to negative 30. And you can get B is equal to negative 10. Now, knowing that B is equal to negative 10, can you solve this equation? Before continuing, I forgot, when you cancel 10 and 5, you get 2. 10, because 10 divided by 5 is 2. So I should have left a 2 outside here. 2 to A minus B equals 4. So knowing that now B is equal to negative 10, can you solve this equation? Of course you can. So 2 to A minus, how much is B we said? Negative 10. But it's minus B. So minus negative 10 is equal to 4. Simplify it, you can get 2. 2A plus 10 is equal to 4. You're going to get 4A, distribute the 2 now. You can get 4A plus 20 is equal to 4. So you're going to get, when you solve this equation, A is equal to negative 4, which is the correct answer for the value of A. Thank you so much for watching and good luck in your periodic.